Today I'm visiting Blacktoft Sands in East Yorkshire, and like many nature reserves here in the UK, the birds are often very far away. In this video I'm going to show you what I do when everything just feels too distant. I've got a total of 700mm focal length on a full frame camera, but it still doesn't mean frame filling shots. First of all, I'm going to visit Ousefleet Hide, which is on the western end of the reserve. I don't think I've actually been in this hide before, I can't remember. I think this is the first time. And this is kind of like a lagoon, I would say. And you've got reeds all around it, either side and on the other side of the water. Nice golden reeds at this time of year. And there's loads of teal. Got loads of teal out there, which is quite nice because I don't get to see teal too often. And they're a lovely duck, especially that green, like that vibrant green you get on the wing, which I think just becomes even more vibrant at this time of year. There's a small group of curlews stood in the water and I begin to take some shots. But even with a big telephoto lens and an extender, they're still very small in the frame. At this distance, one option is to crop your photo. Now it might be an option to do this in camera if you've got that facility, but usually you do it afterwards on the computer. The quality of your resulting picture depends how much you crop and the quality of your camera. Generally speaking, the larger sensors with bigger megapixels will allow you to crop more without losing as much quality. But just because you can crop your image doesn't mean you have to. A larger group fly in and there's now around 20 all together. It's now making me think a little differently. I'm trying to use the surrounding habitat for a wider shot, but compose in a way that's more pleasing to the eye. They're quite far away, even with the extender on. But then what I tried to do was position them at the bottom of the frame to try and make the shot more interesting, and also did some vertical shots with the same thing, birds at the bottom, just to try and make a better composition. By doing this, I've been able to include the reeds and even the surrounding houses at the top of the frame. I'm making sure to put my focus point at the bottom of the frame over one of the curlews. Is including the environment something that you like to do in your images? Let me know in the comments. I'm hoping to see some marsh harriers, so today I really want to stay until sunset. Now, despite the website saying that the car park shuts at 6 PM, it actually shuts at 5. And sunset is 5:17, I believe, which means I can't stay here for sunset. It means I've got to do my best and get back to the car park for 5 to 5. I'm now going to try Reedling Hide, which is a raised hide overlooking a pool. It's overlooking just one patch of water with a few islands. It's full of ducks here, but I very quickly realised that most of the ducks are actually widgeon. They have an amazing whistle. If you've never heard it, it's an absolutely beautiful call and very distinctive. There's lots of action and displaying from the males. At times they're feeding on the grass, and I think I've seen this duck feed on grass more than any other. I'm a little closer to the action here, but still nowhere near frame filling. Reviewing the images later, this one really stood out. I've managed to get almost completely even spaces between all the birds, which really helps the composition. Here I'm focused on the one male that's perfectly side on. The fact that the ducks are so evenly spaced helps to fill the frame in a natural way and has more impact than if it was just one or maybe two birds. That was really nice actually, in that hide. It's quite a different vantage point, and it's maybe not ideal for your duck photography, but it's quite nice just having a different view, being able to look down, sort of like get a clear view of everything that was going on. And some really nice people in there as well, just to give me some advice on a few different things, where to go, what to look for, which I really appreciate. So what we're going to do now is head over to Singleton Hide, which is the furthest east on this reserve, and I've had success with marsh harrier. Blacktoft has a number of hides. There's the reception hide, which doubles as a visitor centre. Then to the left of that is Reedling, Marshland and Ousefleet. To the right of the visitor centre is First Hide. Yes, it's actually called First Hide, that's its name. Townend, and lastly Singleton Hide. First Hide has both lower and upper floors. The lower floor here I felt a little closer to the action, and I'd certainly try this again if I was just concentrating on ducks. All hides have wheelchair spaces and the paths are really good. It's very flat all the way around the reserve. The visitor centre sells hot drinks and snacks, but it is closed in the winter. This seat's ridiculously low. I don't know what's going on. What? Ah. There we go. It's actually making a difference of about 3 inches, so I don't really know. Anyway, it'll do, won't it? It's really low down here. Something's taking off. Some ducks are taking off, are they coming across? Go on. Oh, it's still dropped into the reeds. I just fired. I have no idea, I forgot that. I just managed to lock onto these mallards quickly enough for the focus to track. Birds in flight photography is a difficult skill to master, so I have created a digital photography guide which you can download to your phone or computer. It gives you suggested camera settings, helps you with exposure and focus options, and helps you to troubleshoot common problems. If you'd like to get one of these, then click the link in the description. I've talked before about camera supports in hides and how it can be really difficult, and it definitely is. I was reminded of that today. But I've come up with a bit of a technique which I've never really tried before. So today I brought the beanbag, a double beanbag. You can put it over the window ledge, put the camera on, but then I've tried putting the lens foot on it. So I've got the lens foot now actually on the beanbag, and it's really, really good. In actual fact, I don't think I'd use anything else now. I'd probably just try this, because it's really quite stable, but also it allows you to move quite freely, so it's a really good combination. The only thing I'd say is that you just don't want to leave it, you know, like a few seconds is okay, but it's not a safe place to leave it because it probably will fall down. So if you're next to it, got your hand on it, it should be fine. If you want to see that video I did where I talked about camera supports in hides, then I'll put that in the description below this one, which is here at Blacktoft Sands. So that's perfect for these marsh harriers, if any marsh harriers turn up, because I've seen 2 at a distance, but that's it. I think I've only got about an hour left, because if I don't get to the car park in time, then I'm going to be locked in. At least the car's certainly going to be locked in. It'll probably make somebody very unhappy. Wow, there's actually some really nice light coming through now. Really nice. A little bit of sun just poking through, but it's really soft. I've got about half an hour. It's a marsh harrier. It's a marsh harrier. Oh, it's just gliding with its V-shaped wings. There's a lot of territorial activity from the Canada geese, and the island seems to be the centre of it all. As you can see, my horizon is a little bit wonky here, and that's because I was concentrating on capturing the action rather than worrying too much about everything being perfectly straight. I'll simply rotate this counterclockwise in post-processing and then crop it down a little bit. The distance allows me to include the whole group of geese, the island and the surroundings. It gives a full picture of what's going on. What's crucial here is the birds are against the water and they stand out really well. It was also important to make sure no birds overlapped in any way. A bit of action is a bonus, as I think it definitely helps to draw the eye. I get another view of the same marsh harrier as it adjusts its position and settles down. The light's gone. The light's just totally gone now. I've got about 10 minutes left, that's it. Okay, I've got about 5 minutes. Just made it. 5 minutes. Shooting smaller in the frame can be very rewarding, so don't feel like all is lost if you can't get frame fillers. It's just a case of thinking a little bit differently and sometimes not being afraid to try something new. Well, as you can see, I didn't get any marsh harriers today. That was really disappointing, but that is bird photography for you. Right, I've now got to go and see if this diversion's still in place. I don't know what time I'll get home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you somewhere in nature sometime soon. Get that bus maybe.